Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nur Fahmi bin Muhammad Aris, metric number 1181685. I'm from TQC10. So today I want to present about my thesis or my research. My topic is implementation of teaching and learning of hadith in secondary school education in the state of Selangor, especially Teluk Panlimagaran Secondary School. So this is my topic. So why I choose my topic? This is because my project in University Science Islam Malaysia is Sunnah Studies and Information Management. So my main is hadith, and of course the title of my thesis or research is related to the hadith. So that's why I pick or I create my topic is implementation, learning and teaching hadith in school. So next is research gap. What is research gap? So research gap is a question or a problem that has not been answered by any of the existing studies or research within your field. Sometimes a research gap exists when it's a concept or new idea that has not been studied at all. So this is meaning or define about research gap. So my research gap is basically there is a difference between my study and previous studies where I emphasize that the method used in this hadith study is about students' perception on hadith study and teachers' study in attracting students to learn about hadith. What I want to do is identify the method of learning hadith in school, and I took the school where I study they use as a field study. So that easy for me because I have a lot of contact with whom I can interact. So this is my research gap. So we go to problem statement. So what is a problem statement? Problem statement is an area of concern or a gap in the existing knowledge that points to the need for further understanding and investigation. A problem statement is used in research work as a claim that outlines the problem addressed by a study. So this is definition of problem statement. So my problem statement, they have a 3 point here. Firstly is the world change and technology advance. The study of Islamic science, including hadith, has been damaged to some extent. So this is my first point. So my second point is, in some areas, regardless of contemporary methodologies, research is still done using old methods, and the content given still employs old sources that have not been examined or updated. So my last point for problem statement is students now do not focus on the study of hadith, while teachers do not emphasize the teaching of hadith to students. So this is 3 point for my problem statement. So we go to research objective. Research objective is the specific step that you will take to achieve your research aim. Objective define what, why, who, when, and how question. So my research objective have 3 points. So first, assess the level of understanding and knowledge students on the study of hadith. Number two, explain students' perception of the methodology teacher in the study of hadith. Number three is examine students' perspective on how to deal with issue that arise throughout the study of hadith. So this is my research objective. So we go to a research question. So what is a research question? So research question is the question around which you center your research. It should be clear. It provide enough specific that one's audience can easily understanding its purpose without needing additional explanation. So my research question is, number one, the extent of students' understanding of the study of hadith. So number two, what is methodology of teachers in teaching the study of hadith? So finally, how to overcome students' problems in the study of hadith. So this is 3 point for my research question. So what is research methodology? Basically, research methodology is the specific procedure or technique used to identify, select, process, and analyze information about a topic. In a research paper, the methodology section allows the reader to critically evaluate a study's overall validity and reliability. So in a research methodology, I use quantitative research. This study is a quantitative study with a survey in the field in the form of a current Survey or cross-sectional. Data were collected only once at a time. The survey study aims to methods of learning and teaching hadis in Selangor, especially in my school, Teluk Panglima Garang Secondary School. The main method used in data collection is a questionnaire, instrument and support by unstructured interview data and observation without control and without participation to explore issues in detail and even avoid mistakes in drawing conclusion. So next, data from a questionnaire instrument were processed through a SPSS. S means statistical package for the social science. SPSS is a set of software programs that are combined together in a single package. The basic application of the program to analyze scientific data related to the social science. This data can be used for market research, survey, data mining, and others. With the help of the obtained statistical information, researchers can easily understand the demand for a product in the market and can change their strategy accordingly. Basically, SPSS first store and organize the provide data, then it compiles the data set to produce a suitable output. SPSS is designed in such a way that it can handle a large set of variable data formats. So I use SPSS. So next is the selection of the sample is from the entire population of hadith student and hadith teacher to avoid the occurrence of sampling error due to the sample taken from a part of the population. So a total is 56 people, which include 50 students and 6 teachers. In conclusion, as Muslim, we should make hadith as a belief and practice of life. Those who study hadith will also be rewarded by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. It is hoped that this study can help students in school, university, and society to cultivate knowledge of hadith in daily life. For companions who cannot always attend the Prophet gathering, make an agreement with each other to take turns coming to the Prophet gathering. Thus, hadith developed from word of mouth to be passed on the generation after them even to this day. If there was no learning process in the time of the Prophet, then the hadith will not have spread to the people. When the hadith is not spread to the Ummah, then there is a defect for the Ummah to understand the Islamic law. This is because hadith is the second main source of reference in Islam after Al-Quran. So that's all from me. Thank you.